So to recap the BIP 58 toss news, if you have missed it, Warwickshire have won the toss and elected to field first, which means Gloucestershire will be batting first. Let's check in with the teams then this evening, starting with our visitors, the Warwickshire Bears. 17, Rob Yates. 71 and wicketkeeper Alex Davis. 16, Sam May. 30 and captain Ed Barnard. Number 12, Bo Webster. 24, Vash Vanshjani. 44, Jordan Thompson. 19, Chris Wokes. 0, Usman Tariq. Number 10, Taz Ali. And number 20, Ollie Hannon Dolby. Now, for the first time this evening, let's have a look at your Gloucestershire 11. Sponsored by Empire Fighting Chance. Number 88, Miles Hammond. 62, Darcy Short. Sponsored by The Waiting Game. 67, Ollie Price. Sponsored by BIE Magnum. 64, Ben Charlesworth. Sponsored by Arthur David Limited. Number 10 captain Jack Taylor. Sponsored by Clifton Coffee Roasters. 25, James Bracey. Number 73, Cameron Dariwal. Number 70, our new overseas star, Dwayne Jansen. Sponsored by Another Level is number 90, MATCHDAY. Sponsored by the Queenston Courtyard is 36, Matt Taylor. And sponsored by Shepherd's Funeral Services is 34, Craig Miles. That is your Gloucestershire 11 for this evening. A reminder that Warwickshire have won the toss and will bowl first in just over 15 minutes.
Right, it is almost time for blast off on this glorious evening in Bristol, but before then, a special thanks to our new front of shirt partner, Hire, adorning the Gloucestershire cricket shirt for this season. You can grab your shirt now online at glosscricket.co.uk and of course in the club store. Thank you to Hire.
So if you'll pardon the pun, we've had the hors d'oeuvre. The main course is about to be served. Welcome to the Gloucestershire stream. Welcome to our coverage of the start of the blast. Beautiful night in Bristol. Crowd filing their way in, whether they made a late decision or whether they bought their ticket ages ago. They've struck lucky with the weather. And the important news at this point is that Warwickshire have won the toss and are going to bowl first. So they're going to chase. And we've seen one side bat first already today, Dan, convincingly winning that match, which was the Glamorgan women against the Gloucestershire women. So hopefully the tables can be reversed here and the Gloucestershire can bat first convincingly and put themselves in the box seat against the Warwickshire Bears, as they're now called.
Yeah, and welcome back to old friends as well. Bo Webster, part of the 2024 Vitality Blast champions. And he returns to Bristol for the first time since that victorious campaign. So welcome back, Bo. And as a bloke from Warwickshire once said, once more unto the breach, dear friends.
Yeah, sad week for Warwickshire cricket with the passing of MJK Smith. They are also hard hit by injuries at the moment, so they've won the toss. They will field first. Dan will give you the Gloucestershire side in a minute. Let me give you the Warwickshire team first of all. Rob Yates, Alex Davis will keep wicket, Sam Hain, Bo Webster, their captain Ed Barnard, Jordan Thompson, a lot of familiar names there. And then as we go down the team sheet, down the scorecard, one or two not so familiar. Vanch Jani, a young 20-year-old off-break bowler, hasn't played in the blast before. Chris Wokes, you might know him. Usman Tariq, more about him in a moment. Taz Ali, 19-year-old, again hasn't played in the blast before, bowls leg breaks. And Ollie Hannon Dalby. Usman Tariq has played T20 international cricket for Pakistan, and he has a very interesting bowling action. He's got a very good record in terms of wickets, and his economy rate's good. 89 wickets at 17, and he's going to be very interesting to watch. Could be a pivotal figure, one might argue, in the Warwickshire Bears' effort this season. Of course, they have no Dan Mosley. He's away with the England Lions against South Africa. Jacob Bethel's in the IPL, and they've lost since last year the spin option of Danny Briggs, who's gone back to Sussex. So add in their injuries, their top six looks quite strong. The bowling could be a little bit more of an unpredictable suit, shall we say.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Usman Tariq. His numbers are really good. He's a mystery spinner, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what he's got up his sleeve. But that top six, as you say, are strong, and they, you know, short form cricket, one person can win a game. And, you know, Ed Barnard, I think last time he was here, he got 150 odd in a Metro Bank game, didn't he? And that was an absolutely superb knock. He just managed the chase so well.
Yeah.
And the Bears will
So
be
in the
looking for something
Gloucestershire
similar.
side,
Yeah.
they named 14 yesterday. A couple of surprising names in there, and one of them makes the 11.
Yeah, certainly does. And that is Cameron Darawal. So, welcome to the party, Cameron. And he's a hard-hitting bat, plays for Bristol Cricket Club. Got 142 the other day in the West of England Premier League. And he certainly gives it a whack. So the Gloucestershire lineup will be Darcy Shaw is returning to Bristol after a successful 2025. Miles Hammond will open up with him. Ollie Price, Ben Charlesworth, Jack Taylor, who's the captain, James Bracey, then Cameron Darawal. Dwan Janssen is going to make his debut, who is Marco Janssen's twin brother, the South African. He's coming to replace Liam Scott, who's been called up by Australia. Marchant de Lange, Matt Taylor, and then a man who knows both these counties pretty well in Craig Miles.
Yeah, just a little bit about Darawal. He's 21, bats right-handed, hasn't played in the first team at all in any competition. He's got a rookie deal for this summer, and last year, and Dan mentioned about his form for Bristol this year, he was the young player of the season in the South of England Premier League, playing for his club in Winchester, where he was born. So let's see what sort of impact he has if he bats today. He's also a good fielder, I gather, as well. So, you know, that's an added string to his bow. Players on the way, Paul Pollard and Ben Peverell are our umpires. The Warwickshire kit, it's a rather odd blue, that is. It's not a sky blue, it's not an azuri blue.
Oh, no, there's a touch of the Coventry Cities about it. I'm expecting Frank Lampard to walk out there in a minute.
But dark trousers, and Gloucestershire, of course, in their yellow and black. If you weren't with us earlier, just confirmation of the result in the women's match. Glamorgan women beat Gloucestershire women by 65 runs. They scored 184 for 6, and Gloucestershire women 119 for 6 in reply. But this is, as you might argue, and as is judged by the crowd that are now gathered, the main event, and we're going to see the familiar figure of Ollie Hannon Dolby to open up from this Bristol pavilion. And Gloucestershire, of course, have got 4 left-handers in their batting order, and 2 of them are opening up here. So we can see where have actually got their 2 men out at the outset of this innings. One is at deep square, and in fact there is only one at the moment, because they've got a slip in. So let's see.
No, one at backward point, deep backward point.
Oh, there is one at deep backward point. Yes, there is.
That's
He was
I think it's Sir Jordan Thompson out there, isn't it?
He was hidden by the pillar in the corner of our commentary box. So Ollie Hannon Dolby here at Bristol for the start of the Vitality Blast 2020. 20 on his back, which is appropriate enough, and a single straight away to Miles Hammond to get Gloucestershire on their way.
Jordan Thompson, the last time I think he was here, it was one of the very first games that I did for Gloucestershire on the stream, and there was a stag do here from Froster Cricket Club who turned up 11 blokes in whites, an umpire and a duck. Do you remember? And they gave Jordan Thompson so much stick and he took it so well, they actually invited him to the wedding.
So Short, top run scorer in the competition last year, and he fires the first ball from Hannon Dolby away to Barnard at mid-off, and there's no run.
He nailed that, didn't he?
Alex Davis keeping wicket today. Kai Smith, other batter who can keep left out of their squad.
Ed Barnard mid-off, Chris Wokes at mid-on, the experienced guys in this side.
Yeah, they got to the quarterfinals last year. Alan Dalby pushes that across Darcy Short, taken by Davis. Got to the quarterfinals last year.
And in 2024, I don't know who beat them in the quarterfinals.
Last year Somerset.
Yeah, and in the quarterfinals in 2024.
Yeah, can't remember who that was.
Yeah, Gloucestershire played the quarter, the semi and the final all at Edgbaston.
Alan Dalby with that little shuffle at the start of his run. In, and there's no chance of a single there.
He's on the money straight away. He's a fantastic bowler, isn't he? I had a good chat with him and his wife up at Worcester the other week, and he's a lovely, lovely bloke. And he's just metronomic in his accuracy, isn't he? He's just on the money every ball. Doesn't bowl it too full, doesn't bowl it too short. He's not rapid. Oh, there's somebody from the club just walking straight in front of the side screen.
I don't know who that is. Is that some? I don't know. Well, I don't know where he's from, but he's in the wrong place. Here's Hannon Dalby in once more, and that's fired past Ed Barnard and away for 4. He waved it on its way. Barnard's up at mid-off, but that was picking the gap, and Short underway with his first boundary.
Yeah, Darcy Short, I think he's originally from Darwin, Darcy Short, isn't he? Right up in the Northern Territories where they, get cyclones and all sorts up there. But he's been all around Australia. He's been Western Australia and South Australia plying his trade.
Hannon Dalby in again. Bowls to him at the Bristol Pavilion, and that's gone high in the air. That should be caught. Barnard's underneath it, and he takes the catch. And an early wicket for Warwickshire. Maybe a slight change of pace from Hannon Dalby, maybe held it back a fraction, but Short went too early, went high in the air, and he has to go. And Warwickshire have their first success of the evening, and Gloucestershire's, top run scorer from last season has only a brief stay in the middle this time round.
Is a replay here. I think, yeah, he rolls his fingers over it. It's a clever bit of bowling from Hannon Dalby. Rolls his fingers over the ball and foxes Darcy Shaw, and he pops it up to mid-off, and a simple catch for Ed Barnard.
5 for 1, Ollie Price to the middle. Probably, well, when he was batting at his best last year, he wasn't batting at 3, he was batting further down the order. So interesting to see how he gets on in this more elevated position, and he's going to have Chris Wokes to face when he comes on strike.
Yeah, I think Ollie Price can bat anywhere. I think he's one of those sort of flexible cricketers, as the kids say, number 6'7", 6'7". Ian Randall's completely lost on that one.
That's gone right over my head, Dan. I have to realise I'm a different generation to you.
So, Chris Wokes from the Ashley Down Road end, bustling in. Oh, that's off the back of the bat, I think that was. Hammond looking to work that leg side, and it's gone not far away from short third. That wasn't a million miles away from Hannon Dalby at short third, and Miles Hammond's a lucky boy there.
He got third man up, so he's trying to flick it into that vacant gap behind square on the leg side, and he got a touch fortunate.
Yeah, here's Wokes. Oh, and that's 4 more off the edge. Chris Wokes. I think he must have run over a black cat this morning.
Well, if Hammond is going to enjoy that sort of fortune this evening, he may as well cash in.
Yeah, but look in the book, as they say. It runs in the book. But Ollie Price, I'm really looking forward to him. I mean, he's one of my favourite cricketers here at Gloucestershire. He's capable of scoring in a 360-degree arc. He's clever, he's innovative, he can give it the biff, but he's also got the touch as well. And that's very hard when someone scores all around the ground to set a field to. Hammond punches that through the offside. I think he's going to get 2 here as Thompson's in pursuit, and the ball comes into Davis. And profitable over so far, 10 off 3 balls.
Yeah, they've still got Rob Yates in at slip in this second over. But as is often the case, the 2 out are square of the wicket either side.
Yeah, and in fact slightly backward, both of them, one on the offside, one on the leg side. As Wokes comes in and Hammond again flirts with danger. The bear is being baited.
Yeah, Wokes wouldn't have played here that often domestically, I wouldn't suggest.
I don't think I've seen him play here.
He might have played here for England in a...
Oh, he might have played for England, yeah.
In an ODI, but domestically, not very often.
Hammond just works out. They're just going to amble through for the most languid of singles. And
George Thompson was a bit of a... would you say he was a replacement for Rhodes, who went to Durham?
yeah,
Is that a parallel?
yeah, I was surprised he left Yorkshire. I think he sort of maybe wanted to kickstart his career because, I mean, he was always well rated, wasn't he, at Yorkshire?
Bo Webster in as a second slip.
Here is Wokes. Price with a thick inside edge goes down to Hannon Dalby at short third. That completes the end of the second over. Gloucestershire 16 for 1.
Well, I think Wokes will say Gloucestershire got some streaky runs in that over off him, but they have lost Darcy Short already, and Hammond has got all of those streaky runs, and Ollie Price still hasn't got off the mark, and Hammond will keep the strike this time to Hannon Dalby, still with 1 slip in. Hannon Dalby from the Bristol Pavilion end, past umpire Pollard, and that's crunched into the offside. There's nobody at cover point on the boundary. If it's beaten the infield, it will go for 4, and that's what's happened there. Beautiful cover drive from Hammond. That's one of his strongest shots, and that's prompted the slip to come out.
That's not even a half volley though, is it? He's actually sort of just gone through the line with that lovely shot, Miles Hammond.
Only 2 men out, so they've now got a straighter extra cover and a squarer cover, as well as the man on the fence. Hannon Dalby in. As a result of that, there's a gap on the leg side, so Hammond's worked that into the space. Thompson has come in quickly. They'll only get 1. And
be interesting to see how this blast goes with the new groups as well, because...
Well, the new old groups.
The new old groups, yeah, but in recent years, the last quarter-finalists, or the last finalists in the last 3 years, only 1 has come out of the North group.
Yeah, I know what you're going to say.
Northamptonshire,
yeah,
last year.
Ollie Price waits for Hannon Dalby. A little bit of swing there, gentle swing there for him, not much. And Price can steer that out onto the offside. He'll get a single. Fielded by Taz Ali, who we'll almost certainly see later. And as you see which end the Warwickshire bowlers bowl the spinners from. Slightly longer boundary towards the pavilion. And Dalby bounces on his mark at the end of his run, and then comes in. Hammond can't pierce the field this time. Let's go straight to Webster on that cover.
Yeah, Big Bo Webster, the Tasmanian, teammate of Gabe Bell's, who's just gone home. He's actually flown home today, I believe, Gabe Bell.
Yes, 6'6", Bo Webster. I mean, batted well in the championship. Yes, he had an impact in the T20, but he batted well in the championship as well when he was here.
Better say nice things about him then, hadn't we?
Hannon Dalby in, and Hammond is bowled. Hannon Dalby celebrates a 2nd wicket in just his 3rd over, and Hammond goes for a brisk 17, but it's a brisk 17 that's come to an end, and he's gone right round that.
Leg cutter.
That's just an experienced bit of bowling. He's not that outright pace, Hannon Dalby, but he's a you know, a very traditional English paced bowler, and he's canny in this form of the game.
You see there, he's rolled his fingers from the right-hand side of the ball to the left hand. I don't know if we can slow down the replay and look at his release, but he's from the right-hand side of the ball to the left-hand side, and the ball comes slightly back and just kisses the outside of Miles Hammond's off stump, and that brings Ben Charlesworth to the wicket.
Here's another look at it.
Look, see, he bowls.
It's a proper leg cutter, isn't
Yeah.
it? So Ben Charlesworth, another left-hander. In fact, I might say the last of the left-handers other than Bracey, comes in at number 4. And that's probably why Bracey's batting.
Is Jansen a left-hander?
No.
Just bowls left arm.
Just bowls left arm. Trying to split the right and left-handers up. That's probably why Jack Taylor's down to come in at 5. But if they were to lose another one quickly, that might change. Anyway, Charlesworth with 2 slips, and Hannah Dolby to bowl to him, and that's steered away. He will be grateful to get a run after that king pair in the last championship game.
Yeah.
But
three in a row.
Hannah Dolby's taking 2 for 12 in his 2 overs.
What 3 in a row be called?
Horrible, it would be called.
King triple. Yeah, Ben Charlesworth's too good a player for that. Unfortunately, leaving Gloucestershire into the season, he's bound for Lancashire. And he will face Chris Wokes.
Still kept Yates in as the one close catcher at the moment.
Yeah, although Hannah Dolby's in a sort of a floating sort of short third, isn't he? Here's Wokes. Charlesworth nurdles him through mid-wicket. That's a lovely shot. That's an authentic cricket shot.
Don't know how far across he got there, because we're looking at it from with Wokes coming towards us, and the answer is not that far, but he got round it enough that he could just pick the gap. Well, that will persuade Ed Barnard to change whether he's going to have a mid-on inside the circle. The answer to that is no, he'll keep him there.
Wokes. Oh, that's it. Charlesworth in the King Gangulis.
There's a little bit of extra effort in that ball from Chris Wokes. Hit in the more in the midriff than anywhere else, actually. But
was it?
Still,
I think Charlesworth might be just adjusting one's box.
So Charlesworth in. If you've just joined us on the stream, the 2 wickets, both openers gone already.
Wokes. Charlesworth screams this one up to mid-on and scampers through for a single.
Quite timed that. I think if he'd have really timed it, that would have gone past.
These two bat very well together. They bat very well together in T20 cricket. They were both there. Ollie Price was there in the final, and the 2 wins over Somerset. Both these two were superb, weren't they? Here at Bristol and at Taunton, where Charlesworth hit 6 with about 2 balls to spare. A wind-assisted one, I believe. Here's Wokes to Price, who works him back with a square for a single to Jordan Thompson, and the Lamble through for a single.
Yeah, this is the same pitch they used earlier on today for the women's match. Difficult to say what a par score would be. I think
about 170.
Yeah, I was going to say that I might go a bit higher than that, but you'd be kind of in the game at north of 160, I would have thought.
Yeah. Oh, clever bowling from Wokes, slower ball. Charlesworth just having to adjust. Decent crowd. Lovely night here in Bristol.
Would he win one of the nicest guys in cricket awards, Chris Wokes? Most of the people on the international circuit seem to talk of him like that.
Yeah, very nice club, Warwickshire. Good people up there. Oh, Charlesworth going for a big waft
Slower ball again from Wokes.
Yeah, 29 for 2 at the end of the fourth. If anyone's listening in from the Birmingham area, from an Aston Villa persuasion, congratulations on your European triumph in the week.
What are Warwickshire going to do with Hannon Dolby here? The answer is 2 overs, 2 for 12. But he's going to come out of the attack, I think. He's taking a sweater. And we're going to see Jordan Thompson for the first time from this Bristol pavilion end.
Change of bowling from the Bristol pavilion end. 44, Jordan Thompson.
If you put a benchmark of a bowler taking a wicket for at least every appearance in T20, he's ticked that box. Here he is, and that's flicked away by Ollie Price. It was on the leg stump, and he's got enough on it just to glance it away down towards the boundary at the Ashley Down Road end for 4. That was a loosener from Jordan Thompson. And not very well directed loosener either.
Big welcome to Warwickshire fan Frankie, listening in from Lichfield. Hope you're enjoying the commentary.
Yeah, over 100 appearances for Thompson in this format. And well over 100 wickets as well. Not with deliveries like the last one, though. That's more like it. And Price has to defend back at the pitch. But Warwickshire won the toss, decided they would like to chase. And it's it's bank holiday weekend, but it's a busy weekend for these teams. Gloucestershire play here today. They play Glamorgan tomorrow. And then there's a double-header next weekend as well, which with both games away. One at Northampton and one at Leeds.
30 plus degrees tomorrow, Saturday night game in Cardiff. What could go wrong?
Thompson in, and that's driven by Price, and it's eluded everybody. Mid on and mid off, can't cut that off. That's a well-placed drive down the ground for 4.
I think Glamorgan are away at Northamptonshire tonight, aren't they?
Try and give you the scores from the other games at the interval. But that was a crisply struck shot from Ollie Price. So Mid-on off stay on the edge of the circle. No real change to the field from Warwickshire, despite conceding a couple of boundaries. That's pulled, and that'll be 4 more. Webster thought about going for that at short cover, but it was past him in a flash and whistled away to the boundary in front of the mound stand for 4. Price has started with some vigour here, which is good news from a Gloucestershire point of view. He's on to 14 already. Thompson bustles in, and that's dabbed away past Ollie Hannon Dolby. That could well be 4 more, and it will be. So it's a profitable over this.
That's what I'm talking about. He's got the biff, he goes down the ground, he's pulled him through mid-wicket, and then he's got the delicate touch as well. Caressed that one beautifully.
16 off the over already. Not done yet.
I tell you what, Ollie Price is so good. I mean, Thomas Tuchel should have named him in the England side. I can guarantee that Ian Randall and myself haven't made it into Thomas Tuchel's England squad.
Thompson, last ball of his first over. Tries to York Price. He'll get a single, and he'll keep the strike at the end of a very profitable over for Gloucestershire. 17 off it, and 46 in fact for 2.
46 for 2
of 5 overs.
Ollie Price 19 off 9 balls. Charlesworth a run of ball 6.
Wokes is going to bowl a third, and I'm actually in. I will bring this up now because it's a relevant point. I was having a chat with our good friend Ed Seaborn yesterday about scoring in the power play.
Yeah.
And Gloucestershire's average score in the power play last year was 43.
Interesting. Yeah. Here's Wokes in for his 3rd over. Oh, Price has put it up in the air. Davis is under this. This will be an easy catch. And that's the end of a bright and breezy innings from Ollie Price. And to be fair to Chris Wokes, he deserves that.
Yeah, he's had not the best fortune in the 12 previous deliveries that he sent down, with some edges and some boundaries going against him, but he's got his wicket, and that opens up the Gloucestershire batting to some degree. Jack Taylor's coming out rather earlier than he would want, I think. Still in the power play, and that 43 figure that Ed told me about said that Gloucestershire will, what I think, bottom of the power play average score last year.
Yeah, I think it has to be taken into context though, because Gloucestershire did play on some tricky pitches, especially here in Bristol. A couple got rain affected, didn't they?
Yeah, it's not a massive range between top and bottom, must be said.
No,
something like 12 runs, I think.
Yeah,
but still, they were at the bottom, and now they've lost 3 wickets, which is going to impact, I think, in this next sort of maybe 6 to 8 overs. They can't afford to expose Darrowell too early.
No, but
you would say
Jack Taylor, like Thomas Moore, he's the man for all seasons. Here's Wokes. Oh, that's a good delivery. You don't want too many of them first ball of your season, do you? Gloucestershire's white ball skipper.
Yeah, Ollie Price is 19, I've only 10 balls. So you were quite right, bright and breezy. But I think most teams would take 3 wickets in a power play, wouldn't they?
Yeah, I mean, I would say, although Gloucestershire got 46 on the ball, I think it's pretty much even Stevens with those 3 wickets.
So what I meant by that was I think the bowling side would take 3 wickets in a power play.
Oh, yeah. Taylor drives this one up to Barnard at mid-off.
I didn't mean from a Gloucestershire point of view they'd take 3, they'd rather take 1.
Yeah, but I think you'd want 3, having won the toss and inserted.
Yeah.
And likewise, Gloucestershire, you'd want about 50 in the power play, 45 to 50. Here's Wokes. Taylor nurdles this one up to mid-on and scampers through for a single.
In terms of averages last year in this competition, Taylor was second behind Darcy Shaw, but he got a long way behind him. He got 303 runs at 25, made 2 50s. So, you know, kind of batting where he does, you'd say that's not too bad. But he wouldn't have. I think he wouldn't have batted at 5 that often. He'd only been at 6.
Wokes, Charlesworth, slower ball and driven up to Bo Webster, the tall, imposing Tasmanian.
So I wonder what Ed Barnard does with Thompson here. He's bowled one expensive over. He's got 3 wickets. He's got 2 fairly new batsmen in.
I think he'll get his spinners on after the power play. I think he'll get Usman Tariq in, won't he? Straight away, I think, after the power play. Just lurking at short, fine leg with a yellow headband on. And Charlesworth pulls this one. Doesn't get all of it, but enough to go for 4 runs. And that's the 50 up for Gloucestershire. Comes up at the very end of the power play. I think they'll be reasonably happy with that.
51 for 3. Wokes has bowled 3 overs for 22. Thompson, having had 1 over for 17, has been removed from the attack, unsurprisingly, and Ed Barnard's going to come on himself, the Warwickshire skipper. Used to be at Worcestershire, of course. You talk about people who've not had test call-ups, value for money cricketers on the county circuit. This guy would be,
without a doubt. There are a number of them around, aren't there? I mean, Chris Dent, who retired last year, would be another. Daniel Bell Drummond, somebody at Kent, who's always, got good numbers.
He is value with bat and ball here.
Yeah.
And Alex Davis standing up. Barnard with a full toss. That's pulled away into the deep. That's going to go for 4. 2 bounces. And having built him up, of course, he bowls a full toss. And Jack Taylor says thanks very much. So we're in the 7th over. And just asking about, I'll have a look at making sure the ball is as round as it needs to be. Thompson the ball back to his skipper. So Barnard will try and pitch this one, which he does, and Jack Taylor just almost in slow motion.
Yeah, slower ball.
Pushes that up to mid-off where Webster fields.
Yeah, a lot of sides now have their tallest players on the boundary, don't they? Somerset use it with Craig Overton. He tends to be at long off or long on. And Warwickshire are doing it here with Bo Webster.
Now, what's Charlesworth's mode of attack against Barnard? It's steered into the offside. They've got Chris Wokes in short at cover. He's very much on the single there. But with the power play done, their other players inside the circle are all behind square. Two for the little dab or the chop, and one at short fine leg. Charlesworth again works that into the onside. They'll want two, and up comes Webster, and they're not going to risk a second run to him. Clever weight of shot from Charlesworth, trying to just run it to the edge of the circle with the man back at long on, but Webster's long strides got him there too quickly for a second run. Taylor eyeing the leg side boundary. Barnard to him. And again, a slightly slower ball. That's gone to the right of Chris Rokes, but there'll be a comfortable single.
I remember Jack Taylor, I think he got 100 in that game that Barnard got 150 in against Warwickshire here, in that Metro Bank game.
That was a run fest, that game.
It was, yeah. Jack Taylor is a man who keeps Bristol Glaziers in business.
Barnard around the wicket to Charlesworth, trying a different angle of attack, and you can see the single this time. That's gone up to long off once more. Sam Hain is there. He's a run machine too for Warwickshire in all formats. Doesn't bowl, but more than makes up for that with his weight of runs.
He's somebody, because did he come on here originally as was he overseas originally, or
I don't
was
think
he?
So.
But he's somebody who's probably unlucky not to have had an England call up.
Right, here we are. This is the first of the spin options.
This is Vanchjani, isn't it?
I think that is.
No, it's not. It's Taz Ali.
Taz Ali, I think.
Yeah.
So he bowls leg breaks. Let's see how much of a leg break bowler he really is.
Here he comes, and Charlesworth crunches him out to long off.
For quite a tall young man, he's got quite a low arm.
Yeah. So Taz doing the bowling and a Tasmanian doing the fielding.
He's got hitting against the spin to the leg side. That's probably why Barnard's brought him on at that end. That's to the right,
yeah,
to the right-hander.
I don't think it makes too much difference, though. I mean, Bristol, what you can't beat at Bristol is too full, because you're going to go down the ground where the boundaries are short, straighter. Here is Ali to Jack Taylor, who just works him into the onside. It's good cricket, though, from Hain. Quickly,
and they won't have seen
off
a
that
lot of
line.
him, that's for sure.
No.
But they'll have had a look at a few clips, but not too many of this 11 will have seen much of this young man. He's only 19.
Floodlights are on. Charlesworth goes big, and that's the first one of the season. Big Bad Ben pumps him over long on.
Big Bad Ben with no backlift. There was very little backlift there. It was just a jab, wasn't it?
Yeah, certainly was. He's a strong boy, Charlesworth. What's Ali got in response? Charlesworth cuts him. Out to the deep cover boundary. 68 for 3. Big hello to Aussie Mustafa and his wife Daphne watching in. Delightful Daff. Taylor goes down the ground. He's just going to get one. Goes out to Hayne at long on.
That was off the inside half of the bat. I don't think he really got everything he wanted on that. It appeared to cloth it a little bit. So the man at wide long on is going right back. Sam Hayne's going right back on the fence. And he's got a long off out as well.
Ali. That's crunched out to long on. It's good fielding from Hayne out there. Goes quickly across those old practice wickets. And he keeps it down to 1. So at the end of the 8th, Gloucestershire 70 for 3. You're listening to me, Dan Whiting and Ian Randall, live on Gloss Cricket TV for the blast off.
And Webster now for the first time from this Bristol Pavilion end. So you'll know a little bit about these Bristol wickets. So they're even between when he was here and this season, they do appear to have had a little bit of a change of character. Wokes has dropped out onto the boundary at long on. And Webster almost gets a caught and bowl first ball from Charlesworth. Just a little clip, he was diving forward. It didn't carry, but this was not far from being a return catch. He's got a long way to get down in Webster's defence. Charlesworth waits for him. That's again back of a length. And Barnard hits the stumps.
Great fielding.
Half an appeal from Hannon Dolby, but Ben Peveril will just have to put the stumps back in again. He's our square leg umpire for bowling from this Bristol Pavilion end. Paul Pollard, the bowler's end umpire. Mike Smith tonight, our match referee, former Gloucestershire and England seam bowler, of course.
Pollard was another one who was unlucky not to play. He didn't play Test match cricket, did he? But he's a major run scorer for Nottinghamshire.
Webster to Jack Taylor. And that's carved away through the offside. Again, more work for Thompson. That's a good stop. They will come back for 2. But he's running right. Because part of the drainage on the outfield here in Bristol during the winter, there are a couple of spots where there are drains where the grass is put on top of the drain, and he was just coming towards one of those at that last shot. Taylor this time goes back into his crease and works that away for a single. Jan Shelley does the fielding, not the best throw for keeper Davis.
No, it was that. Keepers don't like it when it's down at their bootlaces. I mean, in T20 cricket, they throw it in on the bounce now anyway. They try and soften the ball up. Umpires don't like it if it bounces more than once, but that was a horrible one, wasn't it?
74 for 3 in the 9th over. And a leading edge from Charlesworth gets him a single into a big space on the offside. He has got 23 off 18. And Jack Taylor with him after the dismissal of Ollie Price, caught by caught off a top edge by keeper off. Chris Wakes, a great bit of fielding and very nearly a run out. Taylor thought about calling for a single, but Rob Yates with a great stop and a throw while lying on the floor almost ran out Taylor. He survived. He didn't hit the stumps at the striker's end, but just a warning shot once again for Gloucestershire that these Warwickshire fielders, they're sharp. They look sharp at the moment.
Tariq.
75 for 3. And Dan is going to have the joy of doing Usman Tariq's first over in this match.
Don't ask me to read it out of his handy, and I'll read him about as well as I do Dostoevsky, mate, I tell you. But that was brilliant from Rob Yates. Studied zoology, I believe. Here is Tariq. Oh, statue ball. And Charlesworth bunts this one up to long on. It's like the old Robert Croft statue ball there, wasn't it? Just pauses. He's got a bag of tricks up his sleeve, this guy. I'm not sure. I suppose they have got yellow in their kit as well. Well,
there is some chuckling going on in the crowd downstairs, and you can understand for people who haven't seen him before. It's almost like somebody you would see, bowl in a club game on a Saturday in terms of style.
Yeah, but you know he's gonna be successful. This guy, his track record suggests that. That's going to be out. No, it's not. It doesn't quite reach Webster. I thought that had gone straight down his throat. But again, I think that was his carom ball there.
Apparently used to work for a car parts company in Dubai before he actually decided that he wanted to have a go at playing professional cricket.
Well, I hope my starter motor goes through a bit quicker than his bowling action, Ian, I'll tell you. Here he comes. That's round arm, and Taylor pushes him out to deep extra cover. They're going to come back for two, and Charlesworth's quick. He gets back.
He is going to be a surprise to people, isn't he?
He's a surprise to me commentating on it, it's got to be said.
And even more so because Gloucestershire are the first team to face him.
Yeah.
You know?
Again, just back of a length. Taylor cuts him away, and that...
A 2 and 4 singles off this over.
Yeah. But Gloucestershire have not lost any wickets for a few overs, which was the important thing. And Charlesworth there goes, caught deep mid-wicket, perishing in the pursuit of quick runs. And he goes for 25. Caught out in the deep, and Usman Tariq is off the mark.
It's a well-judged catch. And I suspect Charlesworth,
Yates with the catch.
As a batter, when he is stopping in that delivery stride, you've got so little time to adjust to the pace of the ball. As you said, he's already bowled one ball that's been quite round arm. He's bowled over and round the wicket. He's bowled one ball, one or two deliveries where he's actually gone through the action a little bit more. That one was a bit, bit further up, but Charles was trying to fetch it from outside the off stump. Up in the air it goes, and Yates has his wicket.
Yeah,
right.
Welcome to the side, Cameron Darrowell, Bristol boy, and great to see him in the side. And here at the halfway stage, Gloucestershire are 81 for 4. Probably looking at what, 170-ish, something like that. Would you say?
I think they would take that from here.
Yeah, I think they would.
So Bracey will be batting at 7.
That's a good player to be coming in at 7.
So Taz Ali has changed ends, and he's bowling now from the pavilion end. Oh, and Taylor's hooked that up in the air as well. Is that going to drop safe? The answer is no. And it's another wicket, 2 in 2 deliveries. And a good catch too. I think that's Vance Jani coming in off the rope. And Jack Taylor goes, and now Gloucestershire's lower order is exposed with Bracey batting with young Darrowell, who hasn't played in this format before at this level, and the tail.
Yeah, it's, well, Miles is more than a tail ender, isn't he? But James Bracey is a very good player to be coming in at number 7.
You wouldn't normally expect, well, if he's batting for 10 overs in one of these games, that isn't a problem. The fact that he's batting for 10 overs when there are 5 wickets down is a bigger problem.
Yeah, but this is the story of Gloucestershire's season, isn't it? Everyone's got starts, apart from Darcy Shaw, but Hammond 17, Price 19, Charlesworth 25, Jack Taylor 16, without anyone going on and like making that killer innings that hurt sides.
Well, Warwickshire have held their catches, and you've now got to have a right and left hand combination once more as Bracey, first ball, gets himself off the mark with a single to Usman Tariq.
I think from here Gloucestershire will be happy to score a run of ball, nurdle it around for 5 overs, take it up to 15 overs with 120 on the board, and then try and have a dip for the last 5.
Some sides leave it later than that now, don't they? Because they think they can get maybe 40 off the last 3. There's a slip in. Oh, there's an appeal for an LBW, which is not upheld by umpire Pollard. Was there any bat on that? Let's see.
No.
Darrowell says no bat. No. It's off the pad.
Pre-signal from Pollard suggested he was always going to give a leg by.
Here's the replay. Going down their leg side. I think the bowler thought it might have going to be turning, but it didn't. So here's Ali, wheels in once more, and Bracey punches that down the ground all the way along the floor to mid-off, sort of long off really, where Yates is fielding. But Warwickshire, the key thing is it's not the runs on the board, it's the wickets column that is good for Warwickshire and bad for Gloucestershire at the moment. Darrowell tried to play that rather straighter than it went, I suspect, but he's got a single and he is off the mark. He's going to be forceful. Say, born in Winchester, played for his club in Winchester in the South of England Premier League last year, got over 700 runs and was named as Young Player of the Year in that league. Ali in, worked away by Bracey this time. They'll want 2 into the leg side. Jordan Thompson's onto it quickly, and they'll only get 1 run.
I think that's the Southern Premier League, isn't it, down there? Is it? I think that league.
Yeah, I've got South Premier League young Player of the Year on my note.
I think it used to be called the Volkswagen Southern Premier League, and there's some good clubs in there. People like haven't.
Yeah, St Cross Simondians in Winchester was his club.
Okay. Sounds frightfully poshy, and sort of place where you'd be propping up the bar on a Saturday night.
I did once, as Ali is just being moved. I did go to an ordination at Winchester Cathedral once, and a very lovely building it is too.
It's lovely, yeah. It's a very nice city, isn't it, Winchester?
So Jordan Thompson is back with 2 relatively new batters to bowl up. That's not a surprise change from Ed Barnard.
Yeah, Gloucestershire need just a little period of consolidation. Thompson in, and Bracey screams this one past him for 4 runs, runs away up towards the Marker Lane stand, and that was serious timing there from Bracey.
Powered that away. I suppose after coming to Usman Tariq's first over, 1 for 6 with 2 new batters in, albeit you've got a left-hander in there. I wonder whether Barnard might have given you another over, but not at this point.
Thompson. Bracey just runs this off the face down to Hannon Dolby.
Throw was way over Alex Davis's head. He just looks at him slightly apologetically and said, "Look, I'm not 6'10".
I wouldn't mess with Oliver Hannon Dolby. 6'7", and he's from Halifax.
So the field spreads for Darrowell. Stands quite tall at the crease. He's only 21. Jordan Thompson to bowl to him.
In he comes. That's just off the pads. Is he going to get 2 here? Yeah, that's clever running. I don't know if that is runs. Good waste of shot. I don't think he probably meant that, but he'll be happy with that. I said earlier that Chris Dent's got his cricket academy, and Cameron Darrowell, they timed all the players, their bat speed off a tee, and Cameron Darrowell came up the highest out of all the Gloucestershire players.
Long on and long off back. 2 men out on the leg side as well.
Thompson, and that's played square the wicket on the offside. Sort of thickish outside edge, but no harm done. Patrons downstairs looking as if they're enjoying a glass of rosé, and the odd cider as well.
I'll give you the
in the West Country, when in Rome.
Yeah, give you the Gloucestershire card at the end of this over. 2 balls to go. 5 wickets down. Duan Janssen probably due in next.
Bracey screams this one, punches it off the back foot through extra cover. That's a lovely shot from the Winterbourne wizard. Nice shot in, wasn't it?
It was a good shot, yeah. Just short enough and wide enough as well. Thompson's been the one loose bowler so far from Warwickshire. 29 off 11 balls he's conceded.
Ouch. That's slightly slower ball, and Bracey picks it and just adjusts, pushes it into the offside, and Ed Barnard does the fielding. So at the end of the 12th, 99 for 5. Often you say double the score at the end of 12 overs, but with 5 wickets gone, I don't think you can you?
No, not from, you wouldn't have thought so from here. So the Gloucestershire card having been put in, Hammond bowled Halland Dolby 17, Short caught Barnard bowled Halland Dolby 4, Price caught Davis bowled Wokes 19, Charlesworth caught Yates bowled Tarek 25, Jack Taylor caught Jani bowled Taz Ali 16, and Taz Ali to continue. Floodlights just starting to take a little bit of effect now from this Bristol Pavilion, and that's too short really, and Bracey can pick up a single for it away. Up to long off, 100 up in the 13th over. Need to get north of 160, you'd have thought, to be somewhere in the game.
Yeah, as you said, Ian, it's wickets, isn't it?
Taz Ali into Darrowell. Oh, he's powered that away. That's gone a long way. That's a big hit into the mound stand. He didn't stand on ceremony there. That was a bit short, but he pulled it away from outside off stump.
Well, he's put that into the city of Bristol College. It's where Casualty was first filmed, and there's almost a casualty in the crowd there.
It's a big hit from Darrowell. Taz Ali, what's he got as a backup? And that's gone aerial again, but it should be caught out in the deep. I think Yates is underneath it, and he's taken the catch.
Good catch.
So Darrowell shown that there is power there, but you've got to have judgment as well. You get away with it once, but 2 young men both of them making their blast debuts, and one has got the other out.
Yeah, a little bit of inexperience there. He didn't need to go big again, did he? And maybe just a little bit of inexperience. And now there's quite a lot of onus on the shoulders of James Bracey.
And the man walking out to make his Gloucestershire debut as well, Duan Janssen, who Gloucestershire secured after Liam Scott was selected by Australia to go on that white ball trip to, is it Pakistan and Bangladesh they're going, aren't they, I think?
Yeah.
So obviously he's got a twin brother who is going to play for the Welsh Fire in the 100, but you know, he's played T20 both in the Caribbean Premier League as well as domestically, and he's played in the IPL, albeit not since 2023. So let's see what he can do with the bat. He's really, I think, he's probably a bowler who bats rather than an out-and-out all-rounder, but we'll see. He's got some time to show what he can do with the bat here.
Yeah, you're not the first person I've stood next to who's told me to do one in my life, I tell you.
106 for 6. Bracey has 14. Six foot 6 tall, Janssen. He bowls left arm, but he bats right-handed, and they'll say no to a single there. And Warwickshire will be thinking here, can we keep this to
140?
Yeah, I would say 140. Taz Ali. Once more, he's bowled, and he's delighted with that. As well he might be, because that's knocked both off and middle stump back. And that's a really good piece of leg break bowling.
Yeah, Ali's been really impressive. Janssen goes second ball. And Gloucestershire, like Mark Knopfler, they're in dire straits.
I wonder what that was. I'm saying it was the leg breaker, but it almost appeared to be the one that...
Like a flipper.
A flipper. I was going to say, that was exactly what I was going to use.
Yeah.
Skidded on a bit. Craig Miles in rather earlier than he would have expected at number 9. Only 13 overs. And
also, I mean, Matt Taylor's a little bit more cavalier. Marchand de Lange, you don't know what you're going to get with him, but generally he likes to hit the ball pretty hard. So I think Miles has just got to be a little bit conservative here and try and repair this innings. As you said, Darawal getting out has opened the door to the tail end.
Ali has taken 3 for 22. And this is the last ball of his third over. He's got a slip and a leg slip. And Bracey's a bit stranded at the moment. Ali to Miles, who goes back and very nearly.
Oh, word, that's a Google.
Very nearly is beaten. So well done to young Taz Ali. He's taken 3 for 22 in 3 overs. And I'd be amazed if he isn't given a fourth.
Let's have a look at this. I just want to see this come. Yeah, oh, it's just another flipper. It's just a sort of skidder, isn't it?
So now with Bracey batting with the tail, unsurprisingly, Usman Tariq is back.
Yeah.
Because they'll be wanting to give Bracey a single and try and bamboozle the Gloucestershire 9, 10, 11.
Yeah, look, there's the Bracey dance. Like you on a Saturday night up the Gloucester Road in the nightclubs.
You can see why it's difficult to read, can't you?
Yeah.
Because I wasn't aware of the Robert Croft statue ball, by the way.
Well, you're not.
But it is very similar to that. He does literally stop.
Bracey heaves him out through wide long on. Too short from Tariq. And Bracey makes him pay. You're not aware of Robert Croft's statue ball?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, he only brought it out, I think it was like, sort of on special occasions.
What, like weddings?
Yeah, bar mitzvahs. Bracey drives square the wicket, a little bit aerial, but yeah, weddings, bar mitzvahs, funerals, that's when he brought out his statue ball.
Nelson for 7.
Yeah. I think 170 is a big ask from here. This
is the 14th over. So he wants a change in the field.
Yeah, what Gloucestershire cannot afford to do is lose a wicket now for about 3 or 4 overs here. Tariq gives that one a little bit more air. Miles plays it back to him.
And the more air he gives these deliveries, the more difficult the tail ends in particular are going to find it reading him.
Miles plays that up to long on. for a single, 112 off Nelson.
What would you take as a minimum from here, Dan?
150 minimum.
Minimum, yeah.
They want 170 though, I think, and even that I'm not sure safe. Oh, there's a little bit of a mix-up. Bracey's got to be quick, and he just about scampers home.
He picked his fielder there. He knew it was Hannon Dalby rather than someone like Yates, who's a razor sharp in the field. Hannon Dalby, a little longer to get to the ball, a little longer to release the throw.
Yeah, well, Craig Miles, I think, who called Bracey through for that single, probably knows what Oliver Hannon Dalby's like.
13 for 7 off 14.
There's the crowd. People enjoying themselves in the Bristol sunshine.
See, if they maintain the rate, they'll get to about 160. But here's Ali with his last over, and that's gone in the air, and it's easily caught. And Bracey is out. He's gone for the reverse sweep, and he's just holed out to Usman Tariq rather, and Taz Ali has a 4th wicket. And Gloucestershire, perhaps they should be looking to Darcy Short and Ollie Price and Jack Taylor in terms of the bowlers who might cause the trouble here for Warwickshire, because it's the spinners who've done the damage.
Will they regret leaving out Graham van Buren?
So a 4th wicket for Ali.
But everyone's got starts and everyone's got out. Gloucestershire have only got themselves to blame here.
So they've got 2 scores of 20 or more and 3 scores in the teens, and that isn't going to win you a game unless you bowl very, very well.
But I've been really impressed with this lad Ali. Varies his pace, floats it like a butterfly, stings like a bee.
Played a little bit of List A cricket. He's got 26 wickets in List A at 23, and he has played England under 19, so they fully recognise the potential. Here he is again, and that's turned away by Matt Taylor, who's come in at number 10 for a single. So it's not as if he's not exposed to first team cricket, but just not the shortest format. But he's played a little bit, say, in the One Day Cup. Ali to Miles. Just about gets a bat on that to squeeze it out into the offside. They'll want 2, but they can't risk it. And they'll have to make do with a single. This is Taz Ali's last over.
See, that's where the wickets come to hurt you, because they could have pushed for 2 there, but you just can't take those risks when you're 8 down with 5.5 overs still to go.
4 for 24. He has 4 for 25 as Matt Taylor works a single into the leg side to Rob Yates, who comes in off the mid-wicket boundary. Marshall Delanger down at 11. Miles waits for Ali, doesn't get that cleanly away. There's a chase for Ed Barner. They won't get any more than a single, and that's been not off the bat anyway. It's a leg by. So I know this is a small sample size, but it will be interesting to see how this young man bowls through this T20 tournament if Warwickshire give him a consistent number of games. He's been impressive here. Again, that's just back of a length, and Matt Taylor has to defend, and he has taken 4 for 25 in his 4 overs, and that might be, if it's not a match-winning contribution, it's going to be very close.
Yeah, been very, very impressed with Taz Ali. Absolutely outstanding.
You know, all the focus was on Usman Tariq before the game.
Yeah.
And he said, no, I'm here to do a job for my team, and I'm going to put my hand up and say I can really help, and he's taken 4 wickets.
Yeah. Taz Ali may well have sent Gloucestershire up a blind alley. Tariq from the Ashley Down Road end. And Miles plays him out to Webster at long on.
going to see a sequence of singles here, I think.
Yeah, Gloucestershire need to consolidate. They just need to keep the scoreboard ticking. If they score at 6 and over for the next 3, they'll take that, gets them up to 136, and they can have a dip in the last 2 and get hopefully near 160. Tariq. Ooh, that's prodded back, poked back.
Caught and bowled there, were you?
I thought it was, yeah.
Just for a moment.
Matt Taylor, one of the most underrated cricketers on the circuit, I think. Tariq. Taylor just works him into the offside. They're only going to take 1 though. Ball goes out to... Who is that out there? It's Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny took that early catch that was one of the key wickets.
Jack Taylor.
Get rid of Jack Taylor.
Miles heaves that across the line. Not the most aesthetically pleasing shot, but no harm done. And they'll go through for a single. 120 for 8 in the 16th.
This is Desmond Tariq's 3rd over. She's got 1 more available.
Taylor tickles this one into the leg side. They're going to try and push for 2. No, they can't. Thompson's in really quickly. And I think that was a double bouncer. Look, they're having a word there. Paul Pollard doesn't like it. Last ball of the 16th. And he's bowled him. Heave across the line from Miles. And that's exactly what Gloucestershire didn't want. And now I think they've just got Marchant de Lange left.
And they'll do well to bat 4 overs from here, I think.
Yeah.
Because Marchant's natural game is to put bat to ball. He is not a pusher and a prodder. There's a second look at the...
It's ugly shot.
Yeah, it was a heave from Miles. And it might just be worth pointing out at this stage that Gloucestershire did the double in 2020 over Warwickshire on the way to the finals day at Edgbaston, where of course there wasn't a crowd, but that is the only win I can find on this ground by Gloucestershire against Warwickshire in a T20. They've done better at Edgbaston than they have here. So at the moment, form, or historical form on this ground being upheld. Webster's back.
Wokes.
Oh, sorry, it is Wokes, but Webster and Wokes both at the end of their runs, but Webster had the ball for a moment. But Wokes has been thrown it, so he's only got 1 over left anyway.
We haven't seen Webster bowl, have we?
From this end, yes. Here is Wokes in, and was there a nick there? There was. And like de Lange doesn't even face a ball. Matt Taylor is out. Wokes' return sees the end of Gloucestershire's innings of 16 overs and 1 ball. That is early in T20 terms, and they're bowled out for 121. And Warwickshire have, dare I say, dominated that first phase of this match.
Yeah, they certainly have, and Gloucestershire will be really disappointed because everybody's got starts. You look down the lineup: Hammond 17, Price 19, Charlesworth 25, Jack Taylor 16, Darrowell 10, Bracey 20. And when you get those starts, you've got to capitalise on, on those starts, and they just haven't quite gone on and done the business. But what I'll be really interested to see is how they defend this, and can Jack Taylor do what his beloved Tottenham Hotspur have failed to do in 2026, and that's grab a home win.
Well, here's a thought for you. There are 7 catches there out of the 10 dismissals. Does that say clever bowling, or that the judgment of the pace of the pitch from the Gloucestershire batters has not been as sharp as they would have expected it to be.
No, it hasn't. And as the apples come out, the apple racing comes out. Here, the Thatcher's apples. Now, Warwickshire, what they need 6 and over is to run a ball. They don't have to take any risk. So we'll see what happens when we come out. But I think Gloucestershire needs some early wickets. So what do you think, Ian?
I think undoubtedly they do.
Yeah.
I'll just briefly give you the card and the Warwickshire bowling figures. Hammond bowled Halland Dalby 17, Short caught Barnard bowled Halland Dalby 4, Price caught Davis bowled Wokes 19, Charlesworth caught Yates bowled Usman Tariq 25, Taylor caught Jani bowled Taz Ali 16, Darrell caught Yates bowled Taz Ali 10, Bracey caught Usman Tariq bowled Ali 20, Janssen bowled Taz Ali, no score. Miles was bowled by Usman Tariq for 4. Matt Taylor caught by Davis off Wokes for 4. Delanga didn't face the ball, not out, not. There were just 2 leg byes, the only 2 extras, and 121 all out off 16.1 overs, leaves 23 deliveries unused. That'll be a big frustration for Mark Alleyne. The bowling figures: Hannon Dalby 2 overs, 2 for 12. Wokes 3 overs and 1 ball, 2 for 22. Thompson 2 overs for 30. He was the one bowler who was expensive. Ed Barnard bowled 1 over for 8. Taz Ali 4 overs, 4 for 25. Bo Webster 1 over for 5 runs, and Usman Tariq 3 overs, 2 for 17. Put the kettle on. We'll be back with you in about 10 minutes to see how Gloucestershire can try and defend this total of quite a miserly 121.
Right, so it's time for the all-important Thatchers apple. We've got 2 teams with me today. I've got Will alongside me with Tom in the white t-shirt, and I've got James and James, which is going to be easy for me to remember. James number 1 here, donning the brand new Gloucestershire County cricket shirt as well, which of course is an excellent promo, on sale now in the club store. So, first of all, Will, what cricket club are you representing today?
We're for Castle and Mansfield, we've got Caitlin Boucher, number 4 as well, Ross Bennins, she's up in the stands.
Lovely shout out, well done, perfect. You guys are ready to rumble. James, how are you feeling ahead of this one? Do you think you're going to win too?
I'm not feeling too great about the winning team because this bloke did a high rocks last week. He's not spoken about it yet, to be fair to him, but I'll do my best.
Okay, you're up against the underdog, and that makes things more fun. Okay, fabulous. Chaps, can you please line up? So one of you is going to go up and back, and then the second one of you is going to go up and back again. The first team to return will win. You've got to get up and around the volunteer here, and then back. It's quite a short course actually this time around. So we've got Will and Tom up against James and James. On your marks, get set, go. So it's Will off first, out of Will and Tom. And James number 1 takes off. They'll go round our volunteers and make their way back. James, who is on the underdog side, is doing well to keep up with the high roxers. And off they go. It's neck and neck at this stage. This could be a photo finish, so we've got to have to keep our eye on things. Up and around they go. Will and Tom slightly in the lead. James has got some making up to do. And it looks as though, as it's caught up in the wind, it will be Will and Tom that will win the Thatchers Cider Admiral. Congratulations, gents. You've won a crate of Thatchers Gold.
Quick couple of shout outs to give a very happy 47th birthday to Edward Tyers, who's in the man stand, and very much congratulations to Catherine and Jacob Boyson, who got married over the winter.
Players nearly on their way to return here at the Seat Unique Stadium, just whilst we get ready for Gloucestershire to resume their match here with Warwickshire. Here are the scores from elsewhere. In the North Group, Durham 203 for 8 against Derbyshire, who are 46 for 4 off 4 overs in reply. Notts 167 for 7 against Yorkshire, who are 15 for 2 in the 3rd over. Kent in the South Group, Kent 208 for 6 against Middlesex, who are 61 without loss, still in the power play there in the 6th over. Essex 183 for 5 in the last over of their innings against Sussex. Back to the North Group, Northants 165, back into Gloucestershire's group, 165 for 8 against Glamorgan, who are 33 for 2 in response. In Gloucestershire's group, Hampshire 158 all out against Somerset, who are 34 without loss. Worcestershire 188 for 9 against Leicestershire, who are 18 for no wicket. And Surrey 213 for 6 against Lancashire, who have just started their reply, and they are 0 for 2.
Wowzers.
And more importantly here, Gloucestershire have to defend a total of 121, which is I think the lowest of anybody anywhere tonight. The Bears coming in with Rob Yates and Alex Davis. Marshall Delanger just giving Davis a pat on the head as he comes to the striker's end, and it will be Duan Janssen to open up. He got a good delivery, it must be said, today from Taz Ali. Bold second ball for a duck. What can he do with the ball in his hand?
Yeah, we also just want to say, if you've heard some colourful language coming through from our outside effects mic, we apologise. It's a microphone that's actually out, pointing out towards the crowd, and I can guarantee it's not Ian Randall as yet another Gloucestershire wicket fell. So we do apologise if you've been offended by some fruity language. So, Mr. Janssen, 6'8", South African.
Can he fulfil the David Payne role?
Bowling to the 5'4", Alex Davis. Here he comes. As Davis nurdles this one.
That was a brisk arm action, wasn't it?
Yeah. Janssen bowling at Davis here. It looks like a dads v lads game, doesn't it?
Yeah, Rob Yates, top of the Warwickshire order. Only he and Thompson really of the front line batters are left-handers. Hannon Dolby is a left-hander, but if we see him, we're in for a very good finish.
Yeah, Janssen. Oh, big flash by Yates. Bracey takes that way above his head. That's some steepling bounce from the South African.
It's very wide.
Yeah, get one of those straight though. Get it at Davis and it's a wide.
Ollie Price in at slip. There is a third man and a deep square.
Jansen.
2 men out.
Cut. That's good fielding from Darrowell. At point, he said he's a good fielder in.
Yeah, all the information, if you like, the word around the club is that
Our sources.
says that he's a good fielder. So he's studying to be a medic.
Dr. Darrowell.
Well, the diminutive figure of Davis again on strike.
Here's Jansen. Is it the Hippocratic oath that a doctor has to undertake, isn't it? I believe. With me, I take a hypocritical oath.
There's a gag coming there somewhere.
2 without loss.
So third man up, sorry, long leg up for Davis inside the circle. Third man back.
Jansen, and that's Davis looking at that one. Is it going over head height?
Yeah, the pace comes from the actual pace of the arm, doesn't it? It doesn't come from the. There's no power from the shoulder, but it's a whippy sort of action.
But it's a languid approach, isn't it? Like Marco, a sort of smooth, languid approach. It's not like he doesn't steam in, he doesn't bustle in by any approach, by any stretch of the imagination. Here he comes. Davis picks that one up. He's going to get 4 runs. Darrowell can't cut that one off. And end of the first over. Warwickshire a 6 without loss.
And that's basically all they need. That's the rate they need if they're going to chase this down within the full 20 overs. I suspect if they get closer, they'll try and push the pedal to finish it earlier, because net run rate across 12 games is often relevant. Marshall DeLunger to start from this Bristol Pavilion end, who, and I saw him on the way into the last day of the match against Northants, said he was fit and firing in his own words. So hopefully he will be, because this is his part of the season. He's only got a T20 contract at the moment from the Bristol Pavilion end, and up goes the right arm in anticipation of celebration of a wicket, as after every ball that right arm goes up. Not so there.
Matt Taylor does it with his left arm as well.
Yates pushing at that, but not getting anything on it. Ollie Price in at slip. Marshall firing in, that's cut away straight to Darcy Short, who is at backward points. They've got a backward point, an orthodox point, a cover and a mid-off on the offside. Just 3 men on the leg side with a massive gap at mid-wicket.
There's a big Gloucestershire la going on.
Hammond's got a lot of ground to cover there. And Yates really genuinely slipped there, or either he's trying to make room to play that through that crowded offside, but either way he lost his balance, and DeLunger has started with 3 dots.
Yeah, one of the nicest blokes in the game, Marshall DeLunger.
Pollard stands at this end of the ground. That's hit over the top by Yates. He's found the gap. It will run away and it will go for 4. The chase was from Miles, but if anything, that's the fractionally shorter boundary away towards the man stand side. And with everybody up, once Yates got it over the infield, it was always likely to run away for 4. 10 for no wicket. chasing 122. Gloucestershire need at least a couple of early breakthroughs here to just make Warwickshire think a little bit. DeLange into Yates, and again, that's quite good carry. Tracy's taking that in front of his face, but no edge
And
from
he's back a
Yates.
long way as well. This is quite a quick pair of South Africans Gloucestershire have got here. And DeLange's been rapid for a number of years, but Jansen's no snail either.
35 now, Marshall DeLange. That's pitched right up, and that's very nearly yorked Yates, but he got right across and covered his stumps, and the ball goes through. So just the boundary off that over, 5 dots apart from it, and 10 for no wicket. Warwickshire chasing 122.
Yeah, Toby there on the big screen, talking about the new Gloucestershire kit, which I think is available on the club website and I think in the club shop as well. And it's a lovely little number, isn't it, Ian Randall? We'll be wearing ours down the Gloucester Road in the nightclubs tonight, won't we?
I thought you had a 4-hour journey back to your house, Dan.
Well, I have, but, you know, I can always come night clubbing with you down the Gloucester Road. It's Dwan Jansen. Davis drives up to mid-off, where
Miles is there.
Craig Miles playing against his former county. He'll know all about Alex Davis.
Yeah, Warwickshire batting order, the top part of it anyway. Sam Hain would be due in next, then Barnard, Webster, and young Vance Jani at 6. So, really, I mean, the all-rounders start at 4, don't they?
Oh, that's in the air. That should be out. And it is. DeLange with the catch. Is that DeLange? No, Darcy Short. Is it?
It is DeLange, I think.
It is DeLange.
The South Africans combine, and Gloucestershire get their first breakthrough.
He misjudged that. He misjudged that, but Jansen is off the mark in Gloucestershire colours, and Davis departs for 5. And that, as Cameron Darrowell will say, is just what the doctor ordered.
Big celebration from DeLange.
Yeah, South African double.
And the tall figure of Webster coming out at number 3. So a change from the order that we were given. Maybe just hold. I mean, Sam Hain is the sort of person you would think would kind of play that anchor role through.
Hain bats 3 all the time. I'm surprised at this. But
they don't want to get too bogged down in the power play. They want to see if they can break the back of this chase.
It's a big bow. Pushes that up to Miles. Throw comes into Bracey. This is a good start from Gloucestershire. Haven't allowed the Bears to get off to a flyer. And Jansen, parsimonious. Webster drops this into the offside, but DeLange's in quickly. 1 ball away from a wicket maiden here to Dwan Jansen.
Tactically, you know, how do Gloucestershire use Jansen here? They need wickets. Do they?
I think
2. Go for a third over?
No, I think 2, and then you can, like, always, if you're in trouble again, sort of around the 11, 12 over mark, bring him back for 1, and then 1 at the death, I would suggest. In he comes, and Webster tickles this one into the gap between extra cover and mid-off, and will use those long legs to get him down to the other end.
So,
sorry, I can't count to 6. That was the 5th ball over.
Therefore, it won't be a maiden.
Sorry?
Therefore, it won't be a maiden.
No.
121 all out Gloucestershire in 16.1 overs if you've joined us in the last 20 minutes or so. And they've already removed Alex Davis in the Bears chase.
Dwan Jensen. Bang. 4 runs. Yates screams that one over the top of extra cover. And 15 for 1 at the end of the third.
Yeah, worth I mean, it kind of is, I suppose, worth bearing it in mind. Gloucestershire were 51 for 3 at the end of the power play, and they were 81 for 3 off 9.5 overs. Now, they lost wickets off the next 2 balls after that, and that really did change things a bit. From 81 for 3 at nearly halfway, you just said was not too bad. Anyway, here is going to be a change. Matt Taylor to come on for DeLange after just 1 over. So you're going to have a left armer followed by another left armer. DeLange's first over only cost 4, but he's being held back, and Matt Taylor to come in from this Bristol pavilion end to Bo Webster, who works him away, and that will run away for 4. There is a man at deep square, but he's not going to reach it. And the reaction of the crowd can tell you when Warwickshire hit a boundary, because they're sitting watching attentively, and there's quite a good crowd, and it's grown obviously since the women's game earlier. It may even have grown since the match started at 7, because it is a bank holiday Friday. Traffic may not have been all that easy to get to the ground, but there's a good number in now, and Webster chops that ball from Taylor back down the pitch. 19 for 1 in the 4th.
Gloucestershire need some magic. Quick bang bang.
Yeah, that's what I say. That's what Warwickshire did around that 10 over mark. 81 for 3 became 81 for 5, and the game changes quite a bit on such moments. The spring-heeled Taylor in once more. That's got a good carry again.
Wow.
We've seen that from the sharper bowlers tonight. And Bracey again taking that sort of shoulder neck height.
But Gloucestershire have been notoriously slow starters in this tournament, haven't they? I think they lost the first 5 last year, didn't they? Or 5 out of 6, perhaps.
And there are only 12 this time, of course. Webster, he turned that a bit erratically, and Hammond comes in and tries to throw down the stumps at the non-strikers end, but he misses by quite a long way. He was not balanced at all when he went to throw that in.
Yeah, Miles Hammond's not the fielder to take liberties with, though. He's capable of producing moments of magic.
Cross, he didn't hit the stumps from there. Quite close in, but he was, not well balanced.
He was vertical.
Yates, 9 from 9, including 2 boundaries. It's a rather odd situation. That's a tighter ball to a tighter line. You can't really cut that. He didn't. Went for them for the shot, but through to Bracey.
Yeah, Taylor's going to go back of a length here. He's got the man out deep backward square for the pull, and he's got sort of a wideish third. He's not quite a deep backward point. He's too fine for that, but I think Taylor's going to go too full for Yates to drive him down the ground.
Little dab into the offside. That's where DeLange is. He's on the single. There was never really going to be any chance of a run out there, and DeLange is going to change ends and take over from Janssen, who's bowled 2 overs, 1 for 11. And to come to your point, Dan, they've kept 2 back, perhaps 1 if they need 1 somewhere in the middle. But really for Warwickshire, their strategy really ought to be keep wickets in hand. If they keep wickets in hand, they ought to win this with something to spare. 21 for 1 after 4.
Here's the man they call Chana, Marchant DeLange. Ex-South African javelin thrower. That's a slower ball. Theatrical, isn't he? He creates theatre, Marshall DeLunger.
Almost looked like a fast off break, that, the way it came out of his hand.
He's got a bowler's derriere, hasn't he, Marshall? He's, you need a big derriere to bowl quick, and Marshall's was that. Oh, that's driven nicely, but can't get it past Janssen at extra cover.
So Marshall's got Ollie Price at a short third man. He's got a orthodox point, a cover and a mid off, and then 3-7-1 on the leg side, mid on, mid wicket, and a short fine leg up inside the circle.
That's over the top of point. Oh, that's brilliant from Darawal. Absolutely superb. He saved a run there. Absolutely superb from Darawal. Let's have another look at this. He's in the air when he flicks it back.
He's got a lot of ground to make up there.
Superb.
And a massive amount of ground to cover as well. He's got a big gap in either side of him and in front of him. It's to be chat between Webster and Rob Yates as to the approach against DeLunger.
DeLunger. Oh, he's bowled him. Webster goes. That's a big wicket. And Gloucestershire are right in this, Ian Randall.
They are. That was a poor shot from Webster.
It was dreadful.
A rush of blood in a way. I had to see what he was trying to achieve. He tried to shuffle almost towards DeLunger, whether he saw him coming or not.
But that is because
Gloucestershire Fuller and 24 for 2, with DeLunger sending back the Australian for 6.
But that is because Gloucestershire bowled tightly and have created that pressure which causes those rash shots. And
well, here is Sam Hain, who we thought might come in at 3, but
yeah, he's their best bat. He's their best bat.
Now we're going to show a replay, I think, maybe of. Oh, this is the wicket again.
Oh, that's kept low. From what we've seen with the bounce in this pitch so far, I would suggest it's not grubbed. It's not a snaky one, but it's kept a lot lower than what we've seen so far.
So Hain, who's got over 5,000 T20 runs to his name, 5,000 runs at 38.
I think DeLunger's sans tache. I think there's no moustache there. And he comes. Hain pushing him back. DeLunger. He's off his rocker, isn't he?
Well, but he knows, you see, he knows that this is the tournament he's been assigned for, and he really wants to make an impact.
Yeah. But he plays his cricket like that anyway. He plays his cricket with a smile on his face, and he's a competitor. In he comes. Oh, Hain's now dancing. He's got to be quick. Oh, that was probably gone with a direct hit there. Is that Darcy Short mid-on? No, Hammond.
That's Hammond.
Wow, 25 for 2 at the end of the 5th. You've got a game of cricket on our hands, Ian Randall.
Yeah, I mean, Gloucestershire were well ahead at this point, 46 for 2 at this stage. Janssen's going to come back for a third over almost straight away here. They do know that wickets are the thing.
Yeah.
So, we're still in the power play.
Hain holds the key. If Hain bats for 15 overs here, Warwickshire win the game.
So Janssen to try his luck from the Bristol Pavilion end to be his third of his 4. DeLunger's taken 1 for 8 in his 2 overs. So nothing desperately expensive so far, but they have 2 wickets. They lost 3 in the Warwickshire lost So Gloucestershire lost 3 in the power play. Janssen in as a scoop, and a clever scoop from Hayne brings him 4 runs. That was bold, having only got a couple of sighters so far. He thought that was going to be a full delivery from Janssen, and he's gambled and played it into a safe area off that scoop shot.
Yeah, clever cricket from Sam Hayne, making Janssen think about it.
Still the slip in for Gloucestershire even at this stage. Janssen to Hayne, short and pulled, and that'll be 4 more. We've got 3rd man up, and Janssen's gone boundary on his recall, and that was fetched from well outside the off stump by Sam Hayne. So now who blinks next? What does Janssen do? Miles is limbering up, so one assumes he will be into the attack shortly. Janssen running away from us, but is that nicked? It is. So Janssen gets his wicket. He's had 2 boundaries down in the over, but he's fired that one across Sam Hayne. He's got the edge. Bracey's done the rest, and Warwickshire are 29. No, they're not. They're 33 for 3.
Yeah, I think there's a good signing happened here in Dwan Janssen, and I think he's got the ability to light Bristol up in this blast campaign. Yeah, just a little feather.
Yeah, I actually just moved a little bit in the air right at the last minute, which caused Hayne's mistake. I would suspect that is.
Let's have another look at this. It's quite late. Here's Janssen.
Look at the movement late here.
Yeah.
Ed Barnard in at number 5.
I think Dwan might be appraising young Samuel's technique there.
33 for 3.
Probably one of those don't use up all the hot water, Sam.
So that looks a good bowling change to bring him in straight away. They were aware that Hayne was the big wicket.
Yeah, so's Barnard though. Both of us sat through that 150 here in the Metro Bank. I think it was 3 years ago, wasn't it? And it was a really good innings. Both of us just purred.
2 slips for Janssen to bowl to Ed Barnard. Down the leg side, there is an appeal. It's going to be called a wide by umpire Pollard. So Gloucestershire fighting hard here with a small total to defend, and sometimes these games can be just as tense as the 190 plays 190.
Oh, even more so. I think the low scorers.
Janssen in, that is short, and it's turned around off his hit by Barnard. They'll want 2, and they're going to scamper back. It's a wild throw, and it's good backing up. That was not a great throw.
Jack Taylor giving a little bit of a glare to his brother there.
It was Matt Taylor who hurled the ball in way over James Bracey's leap behind the stumps. 36 for 3, 10 off the over, but a wicket as well. Janssen in, and that could be lobbed to make it a second wicket, and it is. It's a very soft dismissal, and Matt Taylor takes the catch, and Janssen has done a tremendous job here, being brought back probably only for 1 over, and he's taken 2 wickets. Barnard goes for 2, Matt Taylor with the catch, and Warwickshire are 36 for 4.
Yeah, it's game on, isn't it? 121. We didn't think in a month of Sundays that they have enough on the board. And now it looks like an imposing total, but it's not even a job half done yet for Gloucestershire.
Long way to go. But now Yates is having a long chat with young Vanch Jani.
There's the Manhattan on your screen. You see those wickets? Or if you're listening in from Birmingham, there's the vista of Sandwell.
Jansen's taken 3 for 20, taken 4 for, sorry, he's taken 3 for 22. And he's got 1 ball left in this, his 3rd over. I don't think he'll know much about Vanch Jani. The same is probably true the other way as well. Back to 1 slip. Jansen in. Oh, he squeezes that away off the outside half of the bat all the way along the floor into the offside. Now, what did Gloucestershire do with Jansen now?
I think hold him back. I think
3 for 22 off 3.
But Jack Taylor's been round the block. He knows what he's doing, and he's led Gloucestershire to, you know, to a title in this format of cricket against all the odds. Jack Taylor knows what he's doing
So
in
at
this
this
format.
point, Warwickshire are 15 runs behind, and they are a wicket extra down on the card. So they're 36 for 4 against 51 for 3. It's asking a lot from their middle and lower order. They've got people who can bat.
Here's Craig Miles into the attack. Around the wicket to Yates, who crunches that through the offside. They're going to think about 2, but Jack Taylor recovers and gets the ball into the gloves of James Bracey. So Vanch Jani.
Yates having a real word with him. Just, he's the experienced head out there, but to come, Jordan Thompson, who's no mug.
Yeah, he can bat.
Chris Wokes, but then
He can bat.
Usman Tariq, Taz Ali and Ollie Allen Dalby. You wouldn't be sure about those 3.
Miles. Oh, that's a lovely shot. Vanch Jani, where have you pulled that one from? That's not a half volley. That's just been tenderly caressed through extra cover.
Not played in the blast before, this young man. Only 1 first-class game when he made 41 in his only innings. But he has played a bit of List A. 165 runs at 23. So, again, fairly small sample size. Big opportunity for him here.
Miles. Oh, that's nearly prodded to Darcy Short at short mid-wicket.
Now we're outside the power play. Miles can have greater cover on the fence, so he's got deep square,
He's got third.
long leg and 3rd man out.
Yeah, and a deep cover point.
So only 2 men really saving a single on the leg side.
Here is Miles, and Jani just pokes this to Jansen at mid-on. Darcy Short running across there, attacking the ball, and even though he was never going to get there, he planted the seed of doubt. Joe Phillips there doing his 12th duties.
They pushed extra man outside the circle on the leg side now.
He'd love to play in Cardiff tomorrow night. Short, and that's cut by Johnny out to deep cover. But still, someone said to you, you need 80 off 13 in a T20 game. You'd fancy your chances, wouldn't you?
Yes, and actually, you know, on run rate, they're actually okay, Warwickshire, at the moment.
Yeah.
It's the wickets column that's the issue.
Yeah.
Same problem Gloucestershire had earlier.
Miles down the leg side, and he's feathered it. Yates goes. Bracey, great catch, diving away to his right-hand side. His wicket keeping just gets better and better, and Warwickshire are 42 for 5.
It's it's barely believable that they have lost their top order in 7 overs.
Yeah, I mean, there've been some poor shots as well. I mean, Webster's was poor. It's been a dereliction of duty.
You know, Hayne was probably the only person who got a ball that you'd said did for him by what it did. Elsewhere, it has been poor shots in the main.
Yeah, that's a good catch there. And look at the fans in the Graveney stand, loving it. Friday night, bank holiday, Gloucestershire in the ascendancy. The cider's flowing, and it's party time in Bristol.
And Gloucestershire, you know, they've got the top 5 out now. That's the real.
Yeah, but Thompson and Wokes, you know, Wokes is a decent player, as is Jordan Thompson,
who has come in at the non-striker's end. It's Matt Taylor to bowl the 8th over from the from the Bristol Pavilion end, and Jani just defends that out on the offside. So Thompson's come in to join him at 7. Wokes, Usman Tariq, Taz Ali and Ollie Hannon-Dolby to come.
Diabetic Jordan Thompson, isn't he? Type 1 diabetic. Does a lot of work for diabetes charities.
3 single, 1 on the offside. Only 1 out. And Johnny defends again. Now in the old days, if you go back as far as, I say old days, say John Bracewell's time, because that really was the point where, you know, Gloucestershire were famed for making small scores enough to win, squeezing the opposition. And this is an old-fashioned John Bracewell sort of situation. Johnny down the ground, that's a good shot, that'll go for 4, despite the dive of Miles Hammond at mid-off in the air, but even a vast effort from Hammond wasn't going to haul that in.
Yeah, Jordan Thompson does a lot of work with diabetes charities. He was diagnosed a month before his 17th birthday with type 1 diabetes, and does a fantastic job raising awareness and showing that you can have a career in elite sport.
Johnny has 9, and a misfield from Darcy Short, and they're going to get a cheap single there. So Thompson, obviously formerly at Yorkshire, that's left-handed, and he might feel he owes his team a little bit, because he had the 2 most expensive overs in the Gloucestershire innings, 2 overs for 30. Well, he gets 30 with the bat here. They might get quite close to chasing down this total, but at the moment, the top score in this Warwickshire card is 14. And Thompson defends to Matt Taylor, back up on the offside, no run.
Ian, the turf accountants have Gloucestershire outright to win this competition at 33 to 1. For a side that won it in 2024, I think those are quite long odds.
I think they may have looked at, you know, the change in the team.
No, this was before.
Yeah, but the change in the
announcement
team
this week of David Payne, Liam Scott, David Millett.
I get that, but the change in the team since that side 18 months ago. Taylor in, worked off his hit by Thompson. They'll want 2, but he's sent Jani back quite rightly. But Matt Taylor's got through the 8th over without too much damage, and 48 for 5 are Warwickshire.
Yeah, Gloucestershire was 70 for 3 at this stage. I may have had £3 each way on Gloucestershire.
I'd never heard of that. There's the crowd here at the seat unit tonight.
Look at that. The place is rocking.
Especially those on the college side of the ground.
Look at that. The kids enjoying it. Credit to the club, getting the kids in. Fantastic. That's the next generation coming to watch the game. Credit to everyone in the marketing team at Gloucestershire County Cricket Club. Here's Miles. That's in the air. Darrowell's under it. And he's gone. Thompson goes for 1, and that's another rash shot. Darrowell never looked like dropping that at all. And what are Warwickshire doing? Well, there's no need to do this. You're chasing 121. You've lost a couple of wickets at the top, and they panicked big time. And credit to Gloucestershire for putting the squeeze on them, but they don't need to play these rash shots.
This is going to be could end up being a very short game, and you know it's only meant to be 20 overs aside anyway. But they are 6 down, and we're only in the 9th over.
Don't worry, Ian. You're not on an hourly rate. You're on a day rate, mate.
Yeah. Chris Wokes hides the tail here. He's batting at 8. And I know he...
Yeah, but he's got test hundreds.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
There was a famous chase in which he was involved at Old Trafford, I recall, where he saw England home from a long way behind in the game.
Yeah, he's... Miles is on a hat-trick. Miles is actually on a hat-trick. He's got a wicket with the 6th ball of his first over and the first ball of his second over.
So Miles to Wokes. And so you've got the experience of Wokes and the experience of Gianni at the other end.
Here it is. Hat-trick ball. Oh, and that's pushed out for a single.
It's a bit too short, really.
Yeah, Wokes.
Would have been a better the ball would be a Yorker.
Wokes, he's too experienced, and he's been there, seen it, done it, got the t-shirt.
But again, 5 of the wickets have fallen to catches, haven't they? Two to the keeper, true. But 5 of the 6 wickets have fallen to catches. Only Webster was bowled by Delango, and he played a terrible shot.
And 9 of Gloucestershire. Oh, sorry, 8 of Gloucestershire.
7, I think. I'll check that in a minute. Certainly 7.
Yes, 7. That's played out to Darawal. Yeah, Hammond, Jansen and Miles are all bowled.
So
that's the 50 up, comes up in the 9th over in 37 minutes. It's all go here.
It's a very strange looking Warwickshire card. Only 2 batters in double figures. And some very injudicious shots by a few.
Miles to Wokes, pushes that out to Wally Price.
We're not going to quite get to this point, but if you were in a 50 over game, and you said you wanted 60 runs off the last 10, with most people would say, yeah, we'll take that. The problem is the wickets column.
Yeah.
And that's the problem here in the short chase.
Here's Miles. Short. Oh, I thought he feathered that, Wokes. He does have a look at the umpire saying, it's got to be a wide surely, Governor.
Gloucestershire have used 3 overs of Duan Janssen, but he's taken 3 for 22. And Miles, in his second over, as you can see, has 2 for 8. Janssen being pushed back on the leg side here. So they're putting extra money on the offside.
Wokes just tickles that in the gap. He's going to run the first one quickly, but Janssen keeps it to 1. 51 for 6 at the end of the 9th.
Yes, they're not far behind the rate, Warwickshire, but they are 6 wickets down. That is the key number.
There's the Bristol boys all enjoying themselves on a Friday night, bank holiday. They may have had 1 or 2 pints of cider. Loving life, and why not?
So Matt Taylor, 2 overs for 12 to continue, and Wokes just takes strike against him, but he just takes guard against him for the first time.
Yeah, I know. It was literally trying to cut about 4 feet in one.
Taylor over the wicket, Wokes and steers that straight to backward point. Darcy Short is there. No run. They've got a third man and a long leg back. It's quite an orthodox field, if you like.
Do you agree there's been some really poor shots from Warwickshire, though?
Been some poor shots, period, actually.
Yeah, I agree.
Taylor past umpire Pollard. Squeezed past short this time by Wokes. Darrell hair around the boundary. They'll pick up 2.
Well, they don't like it when the ball bounces twice on the throw. Paul Pollard giving him the glare. Straight off the Meadows estate in Nottingham, that glare.
Johnny on 11, second top score on the card at the moment. Wokes plays that through the gap. Again out to Darrowell. Only one bounce this time as it was returned to Bracey. Another single to the scorecard. I think, if I can borrow a phrase from another sport, for Warwickshire would say it's a good game for them to win from here.
Yeah, but as I said, Wokes is a quality player.
Jenny pushes at that.
Off cutter from Matt Taylor, well bowled. As I said, he's the most underrated bowler, I reckon, in county cricket. He's like stealth, he just goes under the radar. And he's a fantastic cricketer, Matt Taylor.
I think some of the Bears supporters might say, I raise you Ethan Bamber.
Yeah. Well, I've known Ethan since he was a young lad. He's from my neck of the woods in North London. Came through North Middlesex Cricket Club.
Taylor in, worked into the leg side by Gianni. He'll get a single. Well, he prices out on the leg side boundary.
But Bamber's a fantastic bowler.
Well, Gloucestershire fans will know him because he was on loan for a while from Middlesex before he moved to Warwickshire, and everybody bought into the enthusiasm of Ethan Bamber. Matt Taylor to Wokes. Plays that into the ground. It wasn't a catch. I might have thought it was temporarily. Halfway stage, 55 for 6 Warwickshire. Gloucestershire were 81 for 4 at that point. And it is worth bearing in mind that Gloucestershire's 1-2-1 left them 23 deliveries unused in their innings.
Yeah.
And we're now going to see the introduction of spin for the first time. What impact will this have? Bearing in mind, Tariq and Taz Ali took 6 wickets between them.
Yeah, Ollie Price. Then he comes around the wicket. That's down the leg side. He's going to start with a wide. Tidy work from Bracey. That's absolutely nailed. Johnny doing a bit of demolition work to the flats at the far end of the ground. I hope he doesn't hit it too far because my motor's parked behind there. I don't want him to go over the flats. I'd rather not have to visit a panel beater over a bank holiday weekend or a windscreen repairer.
Quite a few people out on the... I haven't actually noticed, but there are actually quite a few people out on the balconies tonight. In all 3 of the blocks at the Ashdown Road end of the ground.
Yeah. Well, it's a lovely night, isn't it? On the Coat Door field.
Change of ball needed. The last one was certainly damaged a bit too much by that last blow from Gianni, who's now the top scorer in this Warwickshire card. He's got 18, but he's still got a long way to go and a very important job ahead of him.
Tickled into the onside by Vance Johnny, and he'll pick up another single. Moves on to 19. Warwickshire just repairing the innings a little bit here. Still only 59 to win off 9. You'd fancy your chances if there wasn't 6 wickets fallen. Oh, that's a big shout. Wokes, bit of a mix-up here. Bracey's going to have a shy. It's out. Wokes has gone. Brilliant from Ollie Price. Pirouetting. Pro comes in from Bracey. And Price gathers it, flicks it behind him, and hits the stumps. Outrageous. Oliver Price. Watch this. Bracey quickly there. Johnny calls Smokes through. There's a mix-up. Woke stutters. The throw is there, and Price gets the ball behind him and takes the stumps. Ollie Price comes alive in this tournament. And that's a huge, huge wicket, because those two were just starting to threaten Gloucestershire a little bit.
And now it genuinely is, I think, Johnny with the tail. And Warwickshire shouldn't be winning from here.
Yeah, Vance Johnny's come through the sacker, hasn't he?
There's no way that Warwickshire should be winning from here now.
Price to Johnny, who cloths that one into the leg side, and who's that doing the fielding? Miles Hammond doing the fielding out deep mid wicket. Taz Ali is the new batter. I don't know much about him.
His highest score in his List A games is 16 not out.
Got to come good sometime. It's bunted up to long on.
Well, he's done well with the ball today. That would give him a bit of confidence for his time with the bat. He's not in a slogging situation.
No. Price and Johnny cuts this one. Yeah, he's another one who's come through into the game from the SACA, the South Asian Cricket Academy, where Zaman Akhtar, who was here up until last year, has now departed to Essex. There he is. There's the disco dancer. What's his name? Tez. Tez, this guy. Look at his moves. There he goes. He's got moves like you on the Gloucester Road nightclub, Lee.
Oh no, no, I don't do those. De Lange back into the attack. Johnny on 21. He might have to do this almost on his own from here.
Have you noticed Marchand starts every spell with a slower ball, first ball up? I don't want to give away his trade secrets, but he's done it all 3 spells so far.
In the 12th over we are.
He's bowled in single over spells.
Johnny waits for De Lange. And he's bowled him! Gloucestershire, how have they made 121 enough here?
Because they're street fighters, they're scrappers, and they never give up. Any side under Jack Taylor just doesn't know they're beaten. And you can see why they won this competition in 2024 as underdogs. They finished 4th in the Southern Group. Warwickshire were top of the Northern Group, and yet Gloucestershire went up to Edgbaston and did a number on them. And this side don't know when they're beaten.
Oliver Hannon Dolby in ahead of Usman Tariq. I wonder what that tells us about Usman Tariq's batting.
Listen, that's the Halifax Hutton you're talking about walking out to the wicket there.
Yeah, I know. So he has had some famous rearguard actions in Championship cricket, Ollie Hannon Dolby, but now they don't have a real attacker at the other end, not one of any pedigree anyway. Taz Ali is very much a rookie, and De Lange's got his wicket, and that Warwickshire card has a horrible look to it. Only 2 batters in double figures. Yates with 14 and Janney just bowled by De Lange with 21, and Hannon Dalby survives his first delivery, 66 for 8.
You know what, Johnny, there can be, you know, he hasn't played a rash shot there. He's been beaten by the bowler, but there have been too many rash shots from this Warwickshire Bears side.
Hannon Dalby waits for De Lange. Defends again out on the offside. What can their approach be? They've got 8 overs to go.
Yeah, it could be a consolidation. Pick up what they can and then go. Maybe if they can take it into the last 5, needing 40 perhaps, they can have a dip. You never know.
Ollie Hannon Dalby doesn't bat much in this format, understandably. Here he is, with a lot more to do than you might expect. And he's one of these guys who he does put a price on his wicket, and that's fine to a point. But Tazani's going to have to negotiate the strike here, because Ollie Hannon Dalby really, in terms of lower order batter, he's a blocker, and that isn't what Warwickshire need in this situation. De Lange to Hannon Dalby, he just steers that, uses the pace of the ball that goes down to third man for a single.
Great over from De Lange, a wicket and 1 run from it.
Worth giving you the Gloucestershire bowling figures at this point. Janssen 3 overs 3 for 22, Matt Taylor 3 overs for 16, Miles 2 overs 2 for 9, Ollie Price is 1 over cost 11, he's been taken off and Miles is back, and De Lange 3 overs 2 for 9.
Yeah, I tell you what, I don't think many sides will fancy coming to Bristol in this year's competition.
Well, this will set Gloucestershire off on the right route. I mean, the batting would be a bit of a worry, I think, but this is a very well motivated performance by the bowlers, that's for sure.
Certainly is. He is Craig Miles to Hannon Dalby, who opens the face, runs this down to Matt Taylor at third. But they look a real unit, I think, in the field as well. Jack Taylor gets his fielders in key positions. He gets his good fielders in key positions. Darrell, Price, Hammond. Darcy Shaw.
And remember, Warwickshire won the toss.
Yeah, they did.
They decided to chase.
Here's Miles to Ali, who goes fishing.
There'll be a certain amount of shock among the crowd about
I'm shocked.
tonight's game.
I'm shocked. You're shocked, Ian.
You know, we've seen less than 200 runs at the moment, and the game's nearly over.
Yeah. Miles. That's pulled. Out to Janssen, who
I'll be quite happy to give
a
single to.
But Janssen set the tone,
Tazani
didn't he,
at the
at the
moment.
top? You know, he whistled out 3 of the top 5, and he's done his job without a doubt. And he looks a really good signing, I think, Dwan Janssen. Miles coming around the wicket to Hannon Dalby, who pushes that one to Jack Taylor, extra cover.
He's quite correct for a tail ender. He's quite correct, Ollie Hannon Dalby, isn't he?
Yeah, he's no mug. 69 for 8 now in the 13th. 53 to win.
But only 2 wickets.
Yeah. Oh, Miles just varying his pace, pushes that one through slightly quicker. And Hannon Dalby flirts with it, flutters his eyelids and says, "Do you come here often?"
So we've only seen 1 over of spin so far from the 5 bowlers Gloucestershire have used. They're trying to get the seamers to do the job here. And if it does come to it, they'll have to make a decision. That's about Ben Charlesworth bowling. Ollie Price back in at slip.
Miles. As Dolby prods this out, just 2 off the over, 69 for 8 at the end of 13 overs. 7 overs remaining, only 53 to win, but only 2 wickets in the bank.
Yeah, it kind of feels as if Warwickshire just delaying the inevitable here.
Yeah, what's going on here? They're throwing T-shirts into the crowd now in the Jack Russell and Mark Lane stands at the Ashley Down Road end. Really in touch with their community here, Gloucestershire, doing a fantastic job.
Well, they're trying to finish it because Johnson's coming back for his last over. They're trying to get through this 9th wicket partnership that would leave Usman Tariq to come out at number 11. And he almost gives a caught and bold chance to Janssen on the follow through.
It's a long way down from 6 foot 8 though, isn't it?
He just leaves his feet firmly rooted in his crease and well, almost a return catch.
I've been very impressed with Janssen. The recruitment from Gloucestershire has been very good this year. Gabe Bell's been a success. Will Williams has been a success. Janssen's now early days, but he looks like he's going to be a success.
In again, pushes that across. And
oh, Paul Pollard thought about that.
Yeah, and he is going to give a wide. Only the 3rd one of the innings.
Doing his impression of Christ the Redeemer in Rio de Janeiro.
3rd man is quite fine for the nick. There is a fine leg on the boundary as well at the Ashley Down Road end. Janssen in, down the leg side, that way another wide. So just lost the radar a bit here.
Yeah,
Duane Janssen.
They just could do with nibbling one out here. As I said, I think this is Warwickshire's game plan, just to stick into it until maybe 4 or 5 overs to go and then have a slog, and anything can happen, can't it?
You'd have to go. You've got to go and run a ball for the next 5 overs effectively. And they haven't been doing that. We run a ball and then they'd have to get 20 off 3. See, 20 off, even 20 off 2.
Well, you take that. You take that. In their situation at the moment, I think they'd take that.
But they're struggling to get the 5 and over. That's the point. And the rate's going to be pushing up. 7.7 it is at the moment. Rate required. Janssen's last over this is. It'll be an extended one because he's bowled a couple of wides. That's better.
But I think Warwickshire were getting themselves back into this, and I think the Bracey Price run out of Wokes was key, because I think Chris Wokes has got the ability to actually win the game from nowhere.
Yeah, I'm not sure these two have famous last words. But really, when you're 65 for 7, needing another 57 to win, you shouldn't be winning it from there. Clubbed up towards Miles at mid-on, no run, so only the wides in this over. Still 2 balls to go. He bowled 4 legal deliveries at the moment, Janssen.
See Jack Taylor there, pushes Ollie Price out. He'll be happy to get out of this over with 3 off it.
Janssen past umpire Pollard. And that's skied. Could be safe. It will in fact drop short of. Is that Hammond?
It was Hammond, yeah.
Unusual to see him at 3rd man. didn't want to concede the boundary, so he let the ball bounce in front of him, because they've only conceded 3 off this over, and that's fine. So assuming Janssen doesn't bowl another wide or a no ball, this will be the last ball of his stint. He's taken 3 for 25 at the moment. And Dolby waits for him, and he's bowled him. Too fast and too straight for Ollie Hannon Dolby, and Warwickshire really are now on the cusp of defeat. They're 72 for 9. There's 6 overs to go, but the last pair surely cannot rescue this.
Yeah, great sight for any quick bowler. Middle stump can do one.
So he's finished with 4 for 25, Duan Janssen. And here is Usman Tariq, who did not expect, I'm sure, in this short format of the game, to be batting for his new county in a T20, let alone with them in this situation.
No, certainly not. And Janssen, 4 for 25 on debut. I think Gloucestershire have got somebody who's going to light Bristol up. He's going to become a hero here.
So Warwickshire's last. Good round of applause as Toby Osborne announces his figures. James Bracey leads that applause.
Oh, Marshall de Lange down there is leading it from 3rd.
Here's Miles, can he finish it?
As that's lost up in the air, and he'll scamper through for a single. Usman Tariq, what's he got? Can he bat?
His career doesn't suggest he's got much about him.
That's gone straight up in the air. Who's under this? Is it Darcy Short? Oh, and he spilt it. Oh, it's Ollie Price. Ollie Price doesn't drop many. It's got to be said.
Coming over his shoulder.
Yeah,
awkward.
I think the umpire got in his way there a little bit. Yeah, I think the umpire, Paul Pollard, sort of. Yeah, he's just sort of. He's always like in the corner of your eye. No, maybe not. Maybe not. Miles. That's in the air. Just short of Jack Taylor.
I think Taz Ali has worked out he needs to play a few shots if Warwickshire is going to get anywhere near this.
Yeah.
They're chasing 122.
I think Ian Westwood, though, Grand Fromage when it comes to cricket, will be really disappointed with his batting side here. That's gone in the air. That should be out. Jack Taylor's under it. And fittingly, the captain takes the catch for Gloucestershire to win this one by 47 runs. And that is a fantastic performance by the Gloucestershire bowlers.
What an unexpected game of cricket we have seen here tonight on this opening night of the Blast. How, I mean, for Gloucester to make 121 enough was something. To absolutely nail it and win by that margin is simply astonishing. We've had an innings that lasted 16 overs and 1 ball when Gloucestershire batted, and we've had an innings that has lasted less than 15 overs when Warwickshire have batted. Let's first of all absolve the pitch, I think, from any blame here.
Yeah, there's just been some really poor shots
There
from
have
both
been,
sides.
I think, 13 wickets have gone to catches, which does suggest clever use of pace by the bowlers and the batsmen not reading the pace of the pitch and not being patient enough to get in. Warwickshire only with 2 batters in double figures. The Gloucestershire card, you made the point about getting starts and not going on. But fair play to the bowlers who have absolutely, you might say, they've dug the batsman out, really,
Yeah,
in some regard.
Jansen and Miles, both, 3 for 13, Miles of 3.4, and Jansen 4 for 25. 7 for 38.
Yeah, and De Lange took 2 for 9 in 3 overs. That's not bad either. For Warwickshire, their spinners did the damage. For Gloucestershire, the seamers have done the damage, and the crowd are going to have an extra hour in the pub tonight as well.
Well, looking at the state of some of them, I think they'd be well advised to go home, but what a night in Bristol. And I tell you what, not many sides will fancy coming here, because this Gloucestershire side looked like a proper unit. And I think the turf accountants, we spoke about Gloucestershire being 33 to 1 at the start of this. I think they might be shortening those odds in the morning.
Well, after a series of games in the Championship, at least the last 2, where they lost close finishes, this looked like being another cliffhanger with only 121 to play with. But the bowlers have done their job and some by dismissing Warwickshire for only 74. As you say, Ian Westwood will not be happy with his batters. It's worth reading that Warwickshire card. Davis caught De Lange, bowled Jansen 5. Yates caught Bracey, bowled Miles 14. Webster bowled De Lange 6. That was fast and straight, although not a great shot. Hayne got a real good one. Caught Bracey, bowled Jansen 9. Barnard caught Matt Taylor, bowled Jansen 2. Janney bowled De Lange 21. Thompson caught Darrowell, bowled Miles 1. Wokes run out 5. That was a combination of Bracey and Ollie Price. Taz Ali caught Jack Taylor, bowled Miles 4. Hannon Dolby bowled Jansen 2. Usman Tariq not out 1. 4 extras, 74 all out in only the 15th over. The player of the match, unsurprisingly, Duan Jansen.
Yeah, we're just going to see if we can hear this.
At the midway point, what you can think of as a side, obviously, it was a difficult batting performance, but the half an hour we finished.
I don't think the audio is quite clear enough from
No, not
Toby
quite.
having his chat with Duan Jansen. That will be on our social media channels, though, I'm sure, later tonight. But 121 all out, plays 74 all out. In the end, it's Gloucestershire who get a reasonable bonus to their net run rate out of this game with a win by 47 runs, and it will put them in good heart to go to Cardiff tomorrow.
Yeah, quick game's a good game, and Jansen absolutely outstanding, Miles outstanding, De Lange outstanding, but Warwickshire will have a look at themselves and they'll be really disappointed with some of those shots. Really just loose shots, and they panicked. They didn't need to panic. They just got nervous, and they got spooked a little bit, didn't they, by Gloucestershire? And Gloucestershire, they're one of those sides, once they get into you, they're like a dog with a bone. And Jack Taylor and his boys start this Vitality Blast campaign with a win. Can they cross the Severn Bridge and double it up tomorrow?
Commentary, of course, tomorrow from Sophia Gardens, or the Swalek, as it used to be called, of course. Thanks for your company today. Thanks for James Healy on the cameras. And I hope you've enjoyed coverage of both the women's match today, which Glamorgan won, and the start of the blast for Gloucestershire's men, which has ended with a 47-run victory over Warwickshire. Next match for Gloucestershire here is against Middlesex. The next game for
The women.
the women is against Middlesex. I do tell incorrectly.
And then El Sideco, the side of Derby.
The derby here is against Somerset. That is on the 5th, Friday the 5th, 2 weeks today. The next match for the men, of course, is tomorrow. Commentary from Cardiff on that game, and also on the two away games that follow at Northampton and at Leeds. Thanks to Dan for his company. Safe journey back on the motorway.
Yeah, thanks, Ian. It's been great to be back with you, mate, and I've missed you. You know, I've missed my work.
Gloucestershire fans have missed winning. They've put that to bed tonight. See you soon here on the stream, and enjoy the rest of your weekend with Gloucestershire having got off the mark in the first match of this year's Vitality Plus. From us all at the Seat Unique. Good night.